And I'm back to reality. Hello, my name is Jenn. I just got back from an amazing trip to Norway, and I can't wait to share more of that with you in the upcoming episodes. But for today, I just wanted to pop in and say hello. I don't have a tutorial ready this week because I was just traveling and I'm really jet lagged. But no, I just thought I would come on today, give you a sneak peek of my yarn haul from Norway. I want to do that yarn justice, so I will be making a video just for the yarn that I purchased in 3 different cities in Norway. If you're wondering what I'm up to, on my first outing after coming back home, I was approached by someone who was hungry, and of course I gave them some money, but what that told me is that it's time for me to make some more of my snack bags. I love my town, but the truth is there are a lot of people in Tucson who are really struggling, and seeing somebody holding a sign that they're hungry is almost an everyday experience for me. I really like making these snack bags because then I just have them handy and I can hand one out quick and easy if I'm at an intersection or in a parking lot, and walk away knowing at least they have some hydration and a few calories for the day. Of course, I'm not sponsored by any of these brands. I just look for items that are shelf stable. I also make them in small batches so the items won't expire before I can hand them out. This was actually inspired by my sister-in-law. We were driving through Asheville, North Carolina, and she was saying how she keeps granola bars in the car, and I just thought that was such a smart idea. I live in the desert. It's so hot here. I like to put some liquids in there too, so I've got little apple juices in these bags today. I just thought I would share what I'm doing because this idea might appeal to you. It might not. And also, you should check your city ordinances. Believe it or not, some cities restrict handing out food to people in need. Up until last year, there was a restriction in Tucson against handing out food to more than 10 people at once in city parks. So you kind of need to check what's going on in your city. But I just hand out a bag here and there when I see someone who's hungry. I think a plain paper bag can feel, I don't know, a little creepy. I don't know why, like what is even in that bag. So I like to put a few stickers on them, just letting people know that these are friendly bags with snacks inside. Once I have my snack bags all ready to go, I'll give a couple to my partner for his car, and then I'll put a couple in my own. I like to keep one right in my driver's side door, so it's right there handy for me when I want to give one away. In my last Fiber Artist Diaries episode, I showed you my travel project, and so I wanted to come back today and show you how my travel scarf turned out. Here's a little clip from that episode, which I will also link below because in that episode, I do a complete tutorial on how to make the scarf. So if this is a scarf that looks interesting to you, you could give it a go. Found some pure alpaca paints. I don't even know if Cascade Yarns still makes this particular product. It's 100% baby alpaca. It's hand dyed. It's super soft. The colors, it's a very different colorway as you can see, but the colors are very vibrant. It's put up in 220 yards or 200 meters, and I think that will be enough for a scarf as long as I make it more of a skinny scarf. So here's that travel scarf complete. I really do like the way the colors presented themselves at that kind of diagonal. It just makes for an interesting bit of movement, and when you combine that with the texture of the ripple stitch, you really end up with a very dynamic piece of fabric. Okay, it's the moment of truth. How long is my skinny scarf? It looks like it's just about 52 to 54 inches long, and it is 4 inches wide. This scarf kept me warm for a couple of my days, but then I had to go back to Old Faithful. The Regensburg Scarf is my go-to travel scarf. I can't help it. I just love this thing. I like to fold the top over and have the ruffles around my neck and just tie it in the front. And it's so cozy and it just kind of looks cute with coats and vests. It is just my go-to travel scarf. I'm actually wearing it in the selfie at the beginning of this video. I did enjoy making the skinny scarf as a travel project, but I had one problem. I finished it, so I had to come up with something else to work on while I was traveling. I found this book in a bookshop. It's by a Danish designer, and it's a book of lacy cloth napkins, and I just thought they were kind of sweet. I also enjoy challenging myself to decipher patterns in foreign languages. That's just a thing that I think is kind of fun when I'm traveling. This is how far I got before returning home. I did buy the yarn while I was in Norway. This is Tin Line by Sadness Garn. It is 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen. This kept me entertained in my downtime for the rest of the journey, but I have to say I was kind of distracted by the knitwear. My favorite boutique by far was Susan Foss. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The brim of this wool hat is lined in cotton just to make it more comfortable next to your skin. That's just such a wonderful touch. I also bought myself a pair of Selbu mittens. I kind of fell in love with Selbu mittens, and Selbu mittens kind of make me want to learn how to knit. I just love all of the different colorwork patterns. Actually, I also discovered on this trip that there is a Norwegian way of knitting. I have been playing around with it because my big complaint with my own knitting is my tension control, and I'm quite proud of the tension I was able to achieve just in a short amount of time practicing the Norwegian style of knitting. When I got back home, I cast 100 stitches onto a pair of circular needles using a heavier weight yarn and larger needles just to make my life a little bit easier. My plan is just to work a rib stitch around and around and around until the Norwegian style of knitting becomes second nature to me. I actually love the way they purl. That is just such a nice little dance. They call it the Norwegian cha-cha-cha. When I say they, I really mean Arna and Carlos. They have a podcast and a YouTube channel, and I watched quite a few of their videos. I can hear Carlos saying, if your finger's up, you're not Norwegian knitting. And it's really hard as a crocheter to train that left index finger to stay down and do this nice close knitting. I am determined to keep working around and around and around until I get this down. As you can see, I have a very long way to go, but it is a testament to Norwegian knitwear that it makes me want to knit, because I rarely want to knit. I love crochet, but I just want to do this color work. I want to make those patterns. And it's not like I'm seeing Norwegian knitwear for the first time. I grew up around it. My family is from Norway and Sweden and Denmark. So these are patterns that my mother wore daily when she put on a sweater. But there was just something about being there and seeing it all in person and feeling the wool that just really made me want to get my hands on some knitting needles. At this point in filming, I almost said goodbye without giving you that sneak peek at my yarn haul that I promised. I have it all ready and waiting for you on my work table. This pile is from Oslo. I also picked up some beautiful books. I really want to take the time to create a nice video for you that will share the particular shops that I went to, the yarn I purchased, the content, and just describe the yarn for you, and maybe even some of the projects that I have planned for the yarn. I have to say, I am feeling very inspired. Let's keep moving along. Here's that travel bag that I took with me. Over here, I have some yarn from Stavanger, and I also picked up some yarn from Bergen. I have a very specific pattern in mind for this yarn that is this kind of nice, rich, dark plum color. I also picked up a couple new crochet hooks, so I'm really looking forward to sharing all of this with you in a future video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm happy to be home, even though I had such a wonderful time. So for more stories from Norway, for the yarn haul, and for the future tutorials, please hit like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.